Well,
We've all
let
been
me
there,
tell you,
putting
there's
things
no
off,
perfect moment.
telling ourselves that we'll do it
The
tomorrow.
time is now.
But the truth
Take that
is,
first
tomorrow
step
never
today.
comes.
It doesn't
But
matter
here's
if
the
it's
good
small.
news. You can overcome
It doesn't matter if you
procrastination,
don't
and
have
today I
everything
want to
figured
share
out.
a story that might just
What
inspire you
matters
to
is that
take
you're
that
moving
first step.
forward.
Let me
Jake
tell
did
you
it.
about a young man
You
named
can
Jake.
do it too.
Jake was
And
like
I'm
many
here
of
to
us in
remind
his
you that
early
your dreams are
20s.
worth-
He had big dreams, dreams of becoming a successful entrepreneur. He wanted to start his own business, travel the world, and help others. But there was one thing standing in his way: procrastination. Every day. Well, that's where the problem began. He kept telling himself, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I need more time to prepare."
Let me tell you about
His friends
a
would
young man
remind
named
him, "Jake, you've got this.
Jake was like many of us in
Just
his
take the
early
first
20s.
step."
He had
But no
big
matter
dreams,
how many times
dreams
they
of
said
becoming a
it, he couldn't
successful
bring himself to
entrepreneur.
do it.
He wanted to
Instead,
start his
he'd
own
scroll
business,
through social
travel the
media,
world,
binge
and
watch
help
his
others.
favorite shows, or
But
find
there
some
was
other
one thing
distraction to
standing in
avoid
his
getting
way:
started.
procrastination.
Jake wasn't
Every
lazy.
day, Jake told himself
He was the opposite.
he made plans,
He was
researched,
driven,
and even
smart,
had a notebook
and
that
capable.
kept telling himself,
But
"I'll
like so
start
many of
tomorrow,"
us,
or,
he had
"I
fallen
need
into the
more time
trap
to
of
prepare."
waiting for
Let
the
me tell you
perfect
about- His
moment.
friends would remind him,
And as we
"Jake,
all know,
you've got
that
this."
moment never arrives.
Just take the first step.
Then, one day, Jake
But no
had a
matter how
conversation
many
that
times
changed
they said
everything.
he could
Brother, who had been running his own business for a few years.
Binge watch his favorite
His
shows,
brother
or
asked
find
him,
some other
"Jake,
distraction
what's
to
the one
avoid
thing
getting
that's holding you back from
started."
getting started?"
Jake wasn't
Jake
lazy.
paused.
Jake told himself
He was
the
didn't
opposite.
have an
He made
immediate
plans.
answer.
He was driven, and
But
even had
after a few
notebook
seconds,
telling
he realized it. Fear. Fear of failing. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of not having all the answers. And, of course, the fear of being judged. His brother smiled and said, "Jake, everyone feels that way at the beginning. The key to overcoming procrastination is not about having all the answers. It's about taking
What's
that
the one
first
thing
step,
that's holding
no
you back?
matter
So
how
many of us,
small.
he had
You
all
learn
the
as you
time
go,
waiting
and you'll be
for the
surprised by
perfect
how
moment.
much you can
And
achieve
as
when you
we all
just
know,
start.
that
So
moment
Jake
never
took his
arrives.
brother's
Just
advice to
take the
heart.
first Then, one day,
The very
Jake
next day,
no matter
instead
how
of
he
waiting
changed
for the
everything,
perfect plan,
others
he took
who
that
had been
first
running
step.
his own business for a few
He
years
reached out to a
binge watched
potential
his
business
brother asked
partner.
him, "Jake,
He
what's
wrote
the
down
one
his
thing that's
first
holding you
official
back from
business
getting
goal.
started?"
He even told a few people about his idea, just to make it real.
But
It
after a
wasn't
few
easy.
seconds, he realized
It felt
Fear.
uncomfortable at first,
Fear of failing.
but something amazing
Fear of
happened.
not being good enough.
The moment he took that
Fear of
first
not
step
having
to lift,
and, of course, the
that
fear
fear
of
of
being
failure
judged.
started to fade, because he realized something important: failure wasn't the end. It was just a part of the journey. Over the next few months, Jake kept moving forward. Each day, he worked a little bit more on his business. Some days were harder than others, and there were times when he wanted to quit. But he learned to focus on progress, not perfection. And with that mindset, his business started to grow. By the time a year had passed, Jake had launched his first product, gained a small but loyal customer base, and learned more about business than he ever thought possible. And the most important thing, Jake had learned that the real secret to overcoming procrastination wasn't about waiting until everything was perfect. It was about taking that first step, and then another, and then another. So, what does Jake's story teach us? It teaches us that procrastination is often fueled by fear and the belief that we need to be fully prepared before we can start. But the truth is, preparation comes through action. When you take that first step, you learn, you grow, and you build momentum. And that's when the magic happens. If you're struggling with procrastination right now, let me tell you something: you are not alone. We all face it. But the key to overcoming it is simple: start. It doesn't have to be a big step. It can be something as small as making a phone call, writing one sentence, or setting one goal. Remember, every journey starts with a single step. And even if you don't know exactly where that step will lead, trust that it will get you closer to where you want to be. Now, I want to ask you, what's that one thing you've been putting off? What's that goal that's been sitting in the back of your mind, waiting for the perfect moment? Well, let me tell you, there's no perfect moment. The time is now. Take that first step today. It doesn't matter if it's small. It doesn't matter if you don't have everything figured out. What matters is that you're moving forward. Jake did it. You can do it too. And I'm here to remind you that your dreams are worth the effort. Procrastination doesn't have to control your life. You have the power to break free from it. All it takes is one simple action. So, what are you waiting for? Start today.
You've been
Thanks
putting
for
off.
watching, and remember,
What's that
take
goal
action
that's
now,
been sitting
because
in the
your
back of
future
your
starts
mind,
with what you
waiting
do
for the
today.
perfect moment?
Don't forget to subscribe,
Well, let me tell
like this
you,
video
there's
if
no
it helps,
perfect moment.
and share it with someone who needs
The
that
time
little
is
push
now.
to get started.
Take that first
See
step.
you in the
It doesn't matter
stay
if it's
inspired,
small.
and go make it happen.
It doesn't matter if you
Hey
don't have
everyone,
everything figured
welcome
out.
back to Rise and Inspire.
What matters is that you're moving
Today,
forward.
I want to talk about something that
did
all
it.
of us struggle with at some
You can
point
do
in
it
our
too.
lives. Procrastination.
And I'm here to remind you that
We've
your
all been
dreams
there,
are worth the effort.
putting things off, telling ourselves that we'll
Procrastination
do it
doesn't
tomorrow.
have to control your life.
But the truth is,
You
tomorrow
have the
never
power to
comes.
break free from it.
But here's the good
All
news.
it takes is
you
one
can
simple
overcome
action.
procrastination, and today
So,
I want to
what
share
are
a
you
story
waiting
that
for?
might just inspire you to take
Start
that first
today.
step.
You've been thanking
Let
for
me tell
watching,
you about a
and
young
remember,
man
what's
named
that
Jake
goal that's
now,
been sitting
because
in the
your
back
Jake
of your
was like
mind,
many of us in
waiting
his
for the
early
perfect
20s.
moment. Don't forget to
He had
subscribe.
big
Let me
dreams,
tell
like
you, this
this
video is
video
no
becoming a
perfect
success
moment. Share it
story.
with someone who needs
The
the
time is
push
now.
to
He
get
wanted to
started.
start his own
Take that
business,
first step.
travel the
Doesn't
world,
matter if
and
it's
inspire
small.
others, and go make it happen.
doesn't
But there
matter.
was
The
one
time
thing
is now.
standing in
Get
his
started.
way: procrastination. Every day, Jake told himself he would work on his business idea.
Welcome back to Rise
He
and
made
Inspire.
plans,
What matters is that
researched,
you're moving
and even
forward.
had a
I want to
notebook
talk
full of
about
brilliant
something that all of
ideas.
us struggle with at some
But
point
when
in
it
our
came
lives.
to actually taking
And I'm
action,
here to remind you that
well,
your dreams
that's
are
where
worth
the
the
problem
effort.
began.
Telling ourselves
He
that
kept
we'll
telling
do it tomorrow
himself,
control
I'll
your
start
life.
tomorrow,
But the truth
or
is,
I
you
need
have
more
the power
time to
break
prepare.
free from it.
His
But
friends
here's the
would
good
remind
news.
him,
All it takes is
Jake,
one simple
you've got this.
procrastination. And today
Just
I want
take
to
the
share a
first
story
step.
that might just inspire you to
But
take
no
that
matter
first
how
step.
many times they said
You've been
it, he couldn't bring himself to do it. Instead, he'd scroll through social media, binge watch his favorite shows, or find some other distraction to avoid getting started. Jake wasn't lazy. He was the opposite. He was driven, smart, and capable. But like so many of us, he had fallen into the trap of waiting for the perfect moment. And as we all know, that moment never arrives. Then, one day, Jake had a conversation that changed everything. He was talking to his older brother, who had been running his own business for a few years. His brother asked him, "Jake, what's the one thing that's holding you back from getting started?" Jake paused. He didn't have an immediate answer. But after a few seconds, he realized it: fear. Fear of failing. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of not having all the answers. And, of course, the fear of being judged. His brother smiled and said, "Jake, everyone feels that way at the beginning. The key to overcoming procrastination is not about having all the answers. It's about taking that first step.